This is actually called Adon Olam. This is a medley that we sing on Shabbat. Oh, we just started the song, but I've got to say that this whole setup here, where we've got all these guys sitting in a Beit Knesset, which is like means literally like a house of gathering or a prayer house, Beit Tefillah, house of prayer. And hopefully you can see this arrow, but I'll just point out kind of what's in here. This big white box in the middle of the room, that's called the bima. And the bima is where we go, like, if we're going to read from the Torah. And so we stand here on the bima, and the Torah scroll's put up here. And the way the Torah gets there and back, and the style of the Torah that's presented, depends on the different community. So the Ashkenazi have one way, which is what I'm Ashkenazi, and then these guys here that you see, these are probably all of them are Sephardic. Here's the great thing, and that is that the back here in the very front of the building, over here you have the blue curtain right here, and you've got the white and all this. This is called the Aron Kodesh. This is where we keep the Torah, and this is a curtain, and you pull the curtain aside. There's a box back here. It's a closet. And you open that up and you pull the Torah scroll out. Now, for an Ashkenazi synagogue, it's literally like what you think of like as a scroll, right? It's got you pull it apart. It's got the two handles. It looks like an old scroll that you would find, and that's what the Ashkenazi use. The Sephardic are have more bling in the whole thing, and that is that it's kind of a more of a cylinder looking thing. And it's still a scroll inside, and you still have the ability to turn the pages and things, but it's different. It's like a big cylinder. And the difference is that when you have the Ashkenazi Torah scroll, so they lay it on the table directly and it kind of rolls out. The Sephardic one, the cylinder opens up, right? And then you see the Torah. Now this is a great thing that happens is that when you do the Torah scroll, and this is the difference in custom. For Ashkenazi, we do the reading of the Torah, and at the end of it, a person stands up and holds the Torah up for everybody to see and kind of shows it to everybody. And we all say this little prayer of, this is the Torah. We're always attesting to, this is the Torah, this is the Torah. Every time we bring out a Torah scroll to read it, we're always saying, this is the Torah. And so this is one of the wonderful things with our traditions of how we keep track of what's an authentic Torah scroll or not. Then when it comes to reading, if you misread it, you got guys correcting you immediately. The Baal Koreh, the reader, he has to be willing to take some criticism sometimes. But the wonderful thing is I've actually seen in the process of reading it, where they're reading it and they come across there's a problem with the scroll. Like one of the letters will be too faded, there'll be a mistake, it's discovered, and then what they'll do is they'll take it and they'll roll it up respectfully and put it to the side and get another scroll and read from it. They don't continue reading from it. That scroll, if it can't be fixed, it's immediately taken and placed in a geniza. And so a geniza is basically a burial for holy works. This is one of the reasons that we have so few copies of our holy books, is because we bury them like they're a dead body. It's amazing. So anyway, I want to point out that this whole thing is a Beit Knesset that they're in. This is the bima. This is the Aron Kodesh over here. Very beautiful synagogue. You see the benches they're sitting on. You have them sitting on the benches, but behind them, you see that you can unfold that and you can place your sitter on it. And you can actually pray that way, or you can even take a Torah if you want to learn Torah or Tanakh or whatever. You can do that right there. And sometimes you'll go early, you stay late, or whatever. It's great. Sometimes you'll come in even when it's not open. Most of these Beit Knessets are open whenever you want to go into them. And you can just, they've always got a library that you can pull down some books and just learn for as long as you want. Whether there are people there normally or not. It's a wonderful atmosphere. So it's so great to see them doing this here in the synagogue. And this was the early videos of these guys usually had them eating somewhere. And the actual members of Revivo Project are not most of, there's like three. There's only three guys who are actually, And all these other guys are there. It's like what you would do like on Shabbat, or a Simcha, like a joyous event or something like that, where you bring out all this kind of snacks and food. You maybe learn some Torah, you share some Torah ideas. During a weekday, you might, sing some songs. So this is a wonderful insight into Jewish life in Israel. And Revivo Project makes it great. The funniest thing I ever saw, there's actually a video, I don't know if I can find it at some point. They were doing a concert and tried to incorporate this setup into the concert, and then everybody sitting on couches, and they all had food. And so you've got these 3 performers on stage performing the song, and behind them you got a bunch of guys sitting on couches eating snacks. It's the strangest thing I'd ever seen, but it was a lot of fun.
Adon Olam אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא להתנסה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה.
I just thought you might like to know what they're saying. So this is sung on Shabbat, and this is Adon Olam, master of the universe, who reigned before any form was created. At the time when his will brought all into being, then as king was his name proclaimed. After all has ceased to be, he, the awesome one, will reign alone. It is he who was, he who is, and he who shall remain in splendor. He is one, there is no second. To compare to him, to declare as his equal, without beginning, without conclusion. His is the power and dominion. He is my God, my living Redeemer, rock of my pain in time of distress. He is my banner, a refuge for me, the portion in my cup on the day I call. Into his hand I shall entrust my spirit when I go to sleep, and I shall awaken. With my spirit shall my body remain. Hashem is with me, I shall not fear. Isn't that beautiful?
והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה בתפארה 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 בתפארה אלוקים נתן לך במתנה דבר גדול, דבר נפלא אלוקים נתן לך במתנה את החיים על פני האדמה נתן לך חגים ושבתות את ישראל ארץ זהבות, ידיים וראש להגשים חלומות. נתן לך את כל הנפלאות, נתן לך דברים כל כך יפים, להביא לעולם ילדים, להאזין לשירים, לראות צבעים, אומר עבור מעשך אלוקים. אלוקים תן לי רק עוד מתנה, מתנה קטנה אך נפלאה. אלוקים תן לי רק עוד מתנה, את השלום על פני האדמה. ברכנו השם אלוקינו בכל מעשה ידינו. ברכנו השם אלוקינו, וברך את שנתנו. ותן תעלומתם על פני האדמה. תן תעלומתם על פני האדמה. ותן תעלומתם על פני האדמה. תן תעלומתם על פני האדמה. רק אליך אלוקיי קורא אני בלי קול, רק אותך תמיד ביקשתי, רק אותך מכל, שתשמע אותי קורא סומה מתוך הליל, ותאיר לי את הדרך שלא אהיה נופל, ותאיר לי את הדרך שלא אהיה נופל. יש תמים בחכמים ויש גם בני אדם, כאדונים ישחקו הם וגבה ליבם, ולשונם כצדיקים בסתר חידתם. אך לך הכל גלו, לך בורא עולם, אך לך הכל גלו, לך בורא עולם. כי ידעת את קולך, וידעת מה כואב, מה אסור ומה מותר, מה הוא רע ומה ישר. אני יודע מעיניך לא נעלם דבר, אני יודע מעיניך לא נעלם דבר. כי ידעת את קולך, וידעת מה כואב, ישר. אני יודע מעיניך לא נעלם דבר. אני יודע מעיניך לא נעלם דבר.
So the great thing about the song is, it's kind of funny. When I heard some of, like, this is called, like, I think this is in the category of Mizrahi music, but it had kind of a Tejano sound. So I come from Texas by way of Oklahoma. You know, it had this sort of Tejano sound sometimes in these Mizrahi. And so I don't know if that's why I connected with it. But anyway, so I really love this Mizrahi music. I really love this kind of sound. And it really gets to you. Like, it's really powerful, very, very spiritual. Revivo Project, you should definitely check them out. Check them out on their station. I don't know, I think I've been following them for about 10 years now. And they'll come with new songs every now and then, and they're fantastic. And some of the songs are, religious, and some of them are more secular, but they're all worth listening to. All right, let me know what you thought about this. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share with me what you thought. If you noticed that the song was actually longer than what I read, because that was not everything, because there was more. And but the funny thing, I was looking at my sitter, this poor thing, might be making a trip to the Geniza soon itself. This is my first sitter. I've been using it for well over 20 years. It's about to fall apart. One page has already fallen out. It's very sad. I'm so reluctant to part with it. It's got my notes from when I was in yeshiva trying to learn the prayers, and I can see I got all these little notes. Say this by yourself. Say this. Don't do this. Do this in America. Do this in Israel. I got all these notes. I'd asked the rabbi to assign me somebody who could teach me the prayer book, and he said the 17-year-old kid, I think his name was Jonathan, 17-year-old kid. He taught me some of the melodies. He taught me the prayer book. I just sat there and took notes, and after he felt like I had enough understanding of Shachrit, which is the morning prayers, then I was left to my own devices, and I just sort of learned from there. Lost a lot, not entirely sure where we were. I was constantly kind of looking down here and looking at people's thing. The easiest thing, that was in Israel when I first started learning how to pray. It got much easier in the States because they had these flipboards, and they would tell you, the flipboard would tell you what page you were on now. And so that was a lot easier to then kind of reinforce all the stuff I learned in Israel. I'm going to have to buy a new sitter soon, and yet I find it very difficult to part with the one I have. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed all this, and we'll do another one soon.